is, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for them shows and you study that.
Alrighty. It is, January 23rd, 2018. It's been a couple days. I apologize for that, but we are live once again right here on the YouTubes. Welcome to Dead on Dave Live. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day, and it's not just a regular day. It's a live chat with Day. And who do we have this week? Well, he's a guy that I think most people would say he's had a very interesting journey through the YouTube different realms. He's friends to everyone, enemies of no man, and one of the cuddliest motherfuckers you will ever meet in the entire world. The one, the only, Billy the Fridge. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Oh
yeah, it's always good to hang with you and talk with you. I'm looking for some enemies though. Everybody is doing these fights now. There's all these MMA fights and boxing matches. I would love to fight somebody.
Cash in, fucking cash in.
I just want to do it so I can talk shit and cut wrestling promos up until the event. I don't even care if I lose. Like I'll go against anybody because I'll talk the greasiest trash. I'm really good at being like mean. Like I'm really good at being bad. And it's like I don't have anybody I dislike enough to be bad. That's probably on me. Like I should hate more people. But
you definitely should hate more people. You would be a fucking hate machine. I don't care about people. It's funny because the guy who's been around as many people as you has been around and as many different things in YouTube and different forms of entertainment, you know, the music game and so many other things, you would figure you would have made more enemies by now. So let's start there, man. That's as good of a place as any. Why do you feel that's not the case with you, man? I mean, Lord knows you'd have every excuse. As a fellow former 500-pounder myself, I understand how fucking difficult that life can certainly be. And some people get bitter, other people go the opposite way. Talk about a little about your journey and how you got to that stage with the weight and everything and how things have changed since you started losing some of it. And we'll get into more of that as we go on.
Yeah, I was over 300 pounds before I was a teenager.
Oof. Yeah.
And by the time I was 15, I was over 400 pounds. So by the time I was like 18, I was hovering near the 500-pound mark, right?
Oof.
And I would get all the way to 600 pounds within, like, I'm not sure exactly when I hit 600, but I know like 5 years ago I weighed in at the Heart Attack Grill and it was like 578.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't realize how big I was. I figured I was hovering around 500, but that was the big 600 mark. And you see this like 600-pound life episodes, and these people can't even get out of bed. And I'm over here like on an RV trip across America, sleeping in ditches and shit, just being a fucking wild man, a little wild boy.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense how I could exist.
Right.
You know?
You are kind of this weird juxtaposition of life. I mean, I remember when I saw you at the YouTube house. I mean, I'd always heard how big you were and everything. When I saw you there with other people, and you weren't just sitting around. I mean, you were doing stuff. You're active. You're moving, and it was quite incredible. As a dude who was over 500 for a while, I couldn't move like that at that weight. Not a fucking chance.
Yeah, I think I always wanted to be the big guy. Like when I was a little kid, I would watch. I was fat, so I knew that. I think when I was, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, I was sitting down in the classroom and we were sitting around in a circle in our little kid chairs. And I looked over at like one kid to the left of me and they had these tiny little legs. And this kid to the right of me had tiny little legs. And I looked at my legs. They were these big old fucking hams. And I was like, oh shit, I'm different, you know? Because I was a little kid. I didn't really have self-awareness.
Right.
And I kind of saw how big I was. And then I started watching like pro wrestling and places where there were big fat guys on TV.
Yeah, celebrated.
Like, I could do that. I could be King Kong Bundy, you know? And that drove me. At first, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. So, you know, you have to be active. You have to move. You have to be able to throw yourself around, take a bump. Yeah. And you have to be able to throw somebody around. So I always had the strength and agility when I was younger. And I never let it go completely. But you lose some of that with age.
Oh, sure.
And you know, from being 450 with like ridiculously solid calves, like my legs were just machines.
I know.
And then I go to 600 and you start to see the stomach create some sort of form of I don't know what to call it exactly. It looks like a gigantic scrotum, maybe.
Right. Yes, it goes to scrotum shape. Oh,
the stomach gets so fat that you get an infusion line up the middle of it, right?
There's it tries to create an ass. It's incredible.
Yeah,
yes.
You get front butt. So
yeah,
it's sad and gross, to be honest, that I didn't try and do this 10 years ago.
Right.
I guess I always had it in the back of my mind, but I never thought I would change. Yeah. And then I got this last year. I was talking to Boogie 2988, and he had been going through his surgery. Well, I mean, this is very important to the weight loss,
story.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
It's very important. He had just done his surgery a few months before. He was doing really well on the weight loss.
Yeah.
He was going through his divorce at the time, and everything else in his life was looking up, but like he was getting hit with some of the hardest shit in his life. So he's just kind of reaching out to people.
Right.
And we talked quite a bit during that time period. And he said to me, he was like, look, you're 34 right now. And this is the time where a 600-pound body just can't hold itself up. Like your bones are going to break underneath your weight. And you're going to be like me, you're going to be in a wheelchair at VidCon if you can make it out there. He was like, it's not good. And I had a couple other friends that were doing low carb and having great results.
Right.
So I told myself I was going to do it. And my buddy who did it said, wait until after Christmas and stuff, have all the cake and
have
pie
one more send away.
Yeah. And I was like, I guess, because I was ready to just do it in October at the time when I was talking to Boogie, and he's like, no man, don't push yourself through that. And looking at it now, I wish I would have started in October, because like it's been ridiculously easy compared to how I expected it to be.
Right. You don't think it's going to be a simple thing, because you've been this way for so long. I know that's how it was for me. I just couldn't stop, getting out of that mindset at the very least. And when you start and you start losing it, you find out how easy things are. Were you prepared for that? How did that affect you? Like, I know me, I had some self-loathing for a while, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, all I had to do was apply this a little bit sooner.
I definitely didn't have that too much, but I did think, like, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? I wish I would have known what I know now 10 years ago. But that's like with everything,
that's
right?
Life, yeah.
Like, I wish I would have known 10 years ago that certain girls wanted to kiss me, things like that. It's like,
sure.
like damn, if I only would have known. But you can't go back in time.
No.
So you can't regret it too much. But it's just, as easy as this was, I almost feel like if somebody else is thinking about it and they need a little motivation to do it, I wish I could help get that through their heads.
Well, you're an inspiration, dude. There's no question. I mean, I unfortunately started gaining back some of the weight that I lost. I've had just the worst fucking year of my life. And I got to be honest, it's you that's making me stop being such a piece of shit on my own stuff, because I actually changed your picture. I didn't, because I can't do these things. But Donna Danny, the guy who does the thumbnails, we had to change your picture, man. We had to change the old picture that we had for you before, because you look so. You posted a picture of you on an airplane just a few days ago. You look so fucking different. We switched to that picture. It's like you really are doing amazing stuff, man. And I have nothing but respect for it. I know how hard it is. And I mean, the fact that you had friends that were going through it, and in a different way. Boogie caught a lot of shit from certain people. I mean, I even may have said a couple of things about, the whole gastric bypass surgery and everything. It's just not for me. But I don't shit on people who decide to go that route. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. But I definitely look at different weight losses, in different aspects of different levels of respect, whatever you want to call it. And he caught some shit for it. And I mean, and some people assumed you did the same, but you did not. You did not get the surgery yourself, correct?
No, I didn't do any sort of surgery. I haven't really had any sort of anything. Like, I started taking CLA a couple months ago. It's a dietary supplement. It's scientifically shown to improve body composition and lean muscle tone, fuels energy and fat metabolism, complements your diet and exercise program, is what it says in the bottle. What I was told is that it helps to burn like the fat that's in your artery area.
Oh,
like it helps burn that. So I don't know, like that's the one thing I started taking for as far as a supplement goes, and that was just a few months ago because I was at the GNC buying Quest bars, which taste terrible, but like you know how many calories they are, right?
They're probably not much, yeah.
I got a couple hundred calories, and they're full of protein and energy, and it's just something. I just had one before we went live so that I wouldn't think about getting hungry, and then when we're done, I go run off somewhere to eat. Like the big trick to me has been it's low carbs, so carbs are poison, right?
Right. Yeah.
I can't eat poison. I have to convince myself that a donut is poison, a sandwich is poison, shit like that is
so
bad.
hard to do.
I mean, it's hard when you love that shit, but when you have to tell yourself this is going to fucking kill me, you know, it becomes so easy because what you're doing is you're not doing something, right? What I replace that with is I make sure I have enough snacks and options for snacks that I can, if I'm hungry, I can kill that immediately. You know, I can eat some macadamia nuts, or I can eat some a Quest bar. I can eat some pepperoni or something.
It's always about options. It's always about options when it comes down to. Got to give a big shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for the $25 donation. So I'm gonna totally butcher the name there, and I do apologize. I'll come up on the ticker in just a moment. But this guy is also losing some weight. So congratulations to you, my friend. And very much thank you for the donation. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big tricky thing because I like swam in bread. That was the big thing for me.
Oh, yeah.
It was like I was eating at least a loaf and a half of bread a day at my height.
Yep.
When it was just sandwiches was so easy. Just boom, just pound them. So good. You never go wrong with a good sandwich. Not eating bread is, especially since I've come back here to the States. In Germany, it's hard because of all the bakeries and shit. But here in the States, it's bad food everywhere. It's so hard, man. It's so difficult. And it's so easy to give in, especially when you don't have money. It's like, oh, fuck, $1? I can get like 2 tacos for that? Are you kidding me? All right.
The McDonald's value menu is trouble.
Bastards.
For $8, you can get 4,800 calories of dog shit.
What is
Shout out to Vega. I see Vega in the chat.
Yeah, that's Lord the man, Vega, the myth, and the legend right there, Mr. Vega. Oh, he just runs on sheer sex appeal, you know. It was first person with the $25 donation. Thank you very much for that. First person. And congratulations on your weight loss. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Now, it's always a worry when you lose weight. And, you know, I did mine pretty publicly as well when I first started. And people will start asking you questions. You know, what they should be doing. Do you find that a little bit hard sometimes to give advice to? You know, I know I had a hard time with it for a while. Do you find that difficult, or are you more than willing? I mean, you just want to talk about it all the time?
Yeah, I feel like I should like make a video or something on it because of how much it worked for me. I feel like it could work for other people. When people hit me up in the DMs, you know, I get like little 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that are 400 pounds asking me, you know, what the hell can they do? And I'm like, look, man, I know you don't buy your own food. Your parents probably buy for you. But look into this keto life. Look into this low-carb life. Try and convince them that you need something to change, you know? Like, obviously what you're doing right now is not working.
Right.
You know, when I was young, we were poor. My dad, he relied on meat and potatoes,
right,
and bread and bologna, you know, shit like that. And we would always have as much as we could eat. We weren't so poor that we couldn't have food.
You're right.
But the food we had was filler garbage, you know?
Yep.
You know, peanut butter and bread. You know, I always have 7 loaves of bread. We'd always have gallon of milk every fucking day.
Yep.
I would chug that shit down like a little bastard.
Yeah, I was too, man. I was a milk fiend.
Oh,
now I'm lactose intolerant, man. I fucking hate getting old. I can't enjoy anything.
I probably was lactose intolerant then because I'd go to school and I'd have gurgles in my stomach and I'd feel like shit. And I'd go take a big messy dump in the bathroom and come back to class with like shart stains in my undies. I don't know if it was that bad, but I'm sure it was. I was a sick little fucking kid.
Yeah. Yep. It definitely especially when you're bigger too. It's like when you're eating a
yeah.
lot. It's just you don't know what's wrong with you half the time. You think you might have a stomach ache. It's just because you ate 4 sandwiches already.
Exactly.
Fuck.
People are like, "Oh, you have a tummy ache. What'd you eat?" And I'm like, "I didn't write it down. Like, I have no idea." I remember there was a sandwich, but in between that, there was like some day-old crab.
Right. That might be what's festering inside of my stomach right now. Jesus, come on, help me out.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I used to shit myself a lot. It's disgusting. I hate talking about it just because people probably don't want to hear it. Otherwise, I don't mind talking about it.
Sure.
So bear with me, guys. When you're morbidly obese and you eat garbage all the time, your body surprises you with explosive diarrhea on a regular basis. It's gross and it's disgusting, and I cleaned up my act and that doesn't happen.
Right?
It's
Isn't
like,
it
holy
amazing?
shit.
Holy shit, this doesn't happen anymore. What could have
Like,
changed?
I thought I was just sick or something. I'm like, oh God. And it's like, wait, it was putting all that garbage in your body that threw off your system.
Who would have fucking
It's gross. It's gross, but I talk about it because maybe there's somebody out there right now who's going through the same damn thing, and they're like, "Oh my God, I crap myself way too often too." It wasn't an everyday thing, right? But most people don't crap themselves in their adult lives.
No, it shouldn't happen. I mean, like, if it's more than 2 times a week, you probably got a problem. You probably
if it's more than 2 times a year, most people don't have 2 times a lifetime.
Oh man,
going to the bathroom is a very simple thing once you're old enough to walk and talk, right?
Yeah, you would think, and then until the age where it's no longer simple at all. I mean, shit, who knows when that starts up? My God.
Then it's harder for you to walk and talk at that age too. So
yeah, it is. It's funny though. I actually didn't realize how bad the food thing was when it came to like throwing up or having to shit a lot until I started smoking weed. Well, when I started smoking weed, and I would put in ridiculous amounts of food because that's all I want to do when I'm high is just eat.
Yeah.
And you got to balance that. It's like, this is the only thing that helps with pain, but it also really packs on the weight. So it's a difficult thing. But I learned the exact same thing. It's like, you put all this stuff in you. Oh God, why do I hurt so bad? Well, there you go, stupid. It's a great fucking answer.
Yeah.
What's the biggest?
I've been eating a lot of Korean barbecue lately.
Okay, there you go.
I've been eating a lot of Korean barbecue lately, and it scares me a little bit because the meat, you cook it at your table. It's usually heavily seasoned. It's probably been sitting out for a while,
right.
And I always get like the worst farts when I eat that, and it makes me think I'm gonna have another shit attack, and I haven't, Yeah. But it reminds me of it, so I need to stop that just because I get triggered. I get triggered.
I don't blame you. It would drive me fucking crazy too. I think the hardest thing for me, like, I've never been a big barbecue guy. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm a burrito dude. I can't stay away from burritos. If I see a burrito, I'm probably gonna buy the burrito. Eat burrito, buy the burrito, eat the fucking burrito. I can't help it.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
I loved burritos and sandwiches. I go to Chipotle. I've probably been to Chipotle 200 times since I was on this diet.
So you don't starve yourself. You still eat the things you want to eat.
Well, I mean, I don't get a burrito,
Okay.
I get a salad bowl, and I put chicken on it, and I put fajitas on it, and I put guacamole on it, and I put cheese on it, and then I eat that salad bowl. That's right. It's under 600 calories, but it's a big meal for the calories, right? You get a nice bowl. It's like a burrito bowl, except instead of beans and rice and the tortilla or whatever you have, it's just a damn salad.
Right.
But the thing that's helped me is you have to kind of regiment everything you eat calorie wise. I started counting calories a couple months into the diet, and I didn't realize how easily calories can jump up on certain things,
right? And
how other foods are like very filling and very low calorie. Like every day, just about, I have 2 hard-boiled eggs when I wake up,
Yeah.
And they're 140 calories or something.
Depending on the egg that you get, anywhere between 100, 140, 150, yeah.
Yeah, for 2 eggs, it's not bad.
Oh, for 2 eggs, you're for 150. That's not bad.
My guy, yeah, 2 hard-boiled eggs. I get 140. I get them pre-packed, so I don't have to cook them. I don't have to peel them because I don't want to have to deal with that every fucking day.
Right? Yeah.
You know, it's a little more expensive, but it's also less time-consuming. And you want to do things that you're going to do every day. Right. You don't want to give yourself hurdles to jump over because you're probably lazy because you were fat, and right. you have to know your limitations and prepare everything you do so that you don't fail. Don't give yourself any reason to fail.
And even when you do, it's getting out of that mindset as a setback is failure. Now I have to start all over again. No, you just start the next day. Start the next meal. You know, everyone's going to fuck up during this thing. It's what happens. And that's probably the biggest question I got over the years, you know, is like, what do you do when you fuck up? I'm actually still trying to figure that out currently. And I'll let you know when I have the definitive answer. But it's basically that. Don't let a setback turn into a defeat.
Yeah. You don't give up on things, right? Like if you give up, then you're done. But if you fuck up, you just keep going. I fucked up. Like I was in 2014, January 2014. It was 5 years ago. Damn it. I was in the airport in Los Angeles. It was this week. And I ran into Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh shit.
And I saw him in TSA behind me, and I was like, hey man, you're awesome. You know, he's walking up to me. I just had to say something because it was an empty line.
It's Jake.
We had the eye contact. I was like, you're awesome. And he's like, oh, thank you, brother. And I go through TSA, get my shit checked through. I'm fine, just fine. It was a quick line. And then somebody taps me on the shoulder. I turn around. Jake's standing there. He's a big, tall guy, 6'5". And I'm a tall guy too. But it was like when someone's taller than you kind of, you notice when you're a big guy, right?
Right, yeah.
I look up at him. He's like, what are we going to do about this weight, brother? And I'm like...
Oh, this is when he first started getting his shit together, too.
This literally was the week before he was announced in the Hall of Fame. He gives me his number. He's like, quit eating dairy, quit eating gluten. Maybe get you down and talk to Dallas, get you on the yoga. And he gave me his number. I'm like, man, that was cool. And I immediately right then stopped doing dairy, gluten. You know, I cleaned up my diet that moment. I got off the plane and I went to Costco when I got off the plane and I ordered a stupid hot dog with no bun. And I was like, this is it. This is the beginning. This is the change. And I was set. I was like, I'll never go back. Right. I'll never go back. And he called me the next week to check in on me, and it was like the night after he was announced to be going to the Hall of Fame. And he's like, hey, well, he's like, I'm going to the Hall of Fame, bitch. What are you doing? No cone. Nah, it's your old pal Jake, and he gave me like this speech. He's like, when you fall down, you get back up. You know. He's like, it's not going to be easy. He's like, I didn't get where I am because it was easy.
Right.
So I fell hella times. And I was like, oh man, I'm set. And then he had a cancer scare and I didn't talk to him for a while. And I felt like, you know, just because I wasn't talking to him didn't mean I was going to stop.
Right. Yeah.
And I kept going and I was naturally losing weight. Never bought a scale, never counted a calorie. I don't know how light I got. But in September of 2016, my grandmother passed away. I was helping her live. She couldn't walk, so I'd wheel her around everywhere.
Right.
I was caretaking for her, and the same time YouTube blew up.
Yeah.
And
the summer of 16,
getting in with like Leafy and every. Popping, and I was dealing with like her passing at the same time I was trying to keep this channel going. And by October, a month in, YouTube changed the algorithm around, and Leafy and myself and Keem and Onision, a lot of these big channels that were in this realm of drama were just getting cut off.
Yeah,
you know. And so I had like 1 month of great growth, if that. You know, I had a week of like 5,000 subs a day. It was just shooting up, and it just overnight it changed.
Stopped,
and I'm dealing with like all this process of like getting my grandmother's estate in order because she didn't have a will. It was like really stressful, and it's slowly like, you know, someone would order a pizza and boom, I'm eating pizza again. Someone would order, I'll go to Taco Bell and I would order a taco with like without cheese, without
this, you know,
it's dairy, it's gluten free,
right.
But then, you know, I go back again because I'm used to that, and I'm like, oh, Crunchwrap Supreme is badass. So I get that, and then I'm like, oh, they got this new shit at Taco Bell I never seen before, and I'm back in it, you know, and I'm trying to stay certain level of chill there, but you know, at some point in time, I just got back into the zone of where I'm going to the store and buying a slice of cake, and I knew that I would want a slice of cake later, so I'm buying 2 slices of cake.
Those lies that we tell ourselves, yeah,
and then I eat both slices of cake when I could have had the one cake, but I could have had no cake, you know,
right?
And I'm sure I didn't get a scale until a couple months into the weight loss, but based on how much weight I was losing after I got the scale, I'm sure I was 600 pounds.
You're probably back right around there. Yeah. No, I
felt worse than I ever did. For the first time in my life, just walking up a hill was like, I'd have to stop and breathe, you know?
Life changing, isn't it? You can breathe.
Yeah. But I was always able to like get around before, like, you know, before this diet, but for a few months before.
Oh, it's so different.
I went on this diet. It was bad. I knew if I didn't change, I was going to die. And talking to Boogie, I was always ready to die. Right. Like I was like,
we always say that when we're fat. God, don't we always say that when we're really fat? Yeah. I've done that too. Like, fuck it. I don't care. You know?
I was like, I've done a lot of cool shit with my life. If I died, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Right.
You know,
a little bit no regrets.
I've done enough. I've done enough that I'd say this is a good life. A lot of people will be like, oh yeah, he was awesome, but that's what happens when you're fat.
Right.
It's like,
you know, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy for it. You know, so it's at one point.
Totally, but who wants sympathy, right?
Mindset, right, yeah. When you're living like that, especially.
I was never fatting around for sympathy. I was fatting around to like gloat, like, hey, I'm 600 pounds and I'm tighter than you. Fuck off.
I remember those days. I remember when you like. There was one time when I was actually legitimately worried about you, and it was when Boogie was about to get his surgery. I want to say it was like the night or two before. It was around VidCon. You and a bunch of other guys went out and had this massive fucking burger, like one of those heart attack type fucking burgers. And it was I was one time where I was like, I'm really worried about you, and I don't know you like that. So it's like I never want to overstep. I never want to be that guy, like, especially when I was just losing weight myself. But it's funny because you and I have always had a lot in common. We have a lot of the same likes and interests and everything. But I didn't know we were the exact same age until fucking when I was doing all the research, which is incredible to me because I never thought you were my age. But for some reason, that image, that visual kind of stuck with me. And seeing you there, I'm just really glad that you've been able to turn it around, man, because Lord knows it ain't easy.
Yeah. What sucks is it really is easy.
Right, yeah.
Like,
it's mindset.
Like, it wasn't easy to like get in that mindset. It wasn't like I was ready to die. I was fat. I was like, no, it's fine. I can rock it till the wheels fall off.
Right.
I can do this. And now I'm like looking at how easy the weight's coming off by just not doing things. You just have to rethink the way you do everything. And it's not easy for some people. It wasn't something I ever really attempted, like, to actually full on change. My diets in history have always been like, give up, like, I'll give up soda, I'll give up fast food, I'll give up gluten, I'll give up dairy.
Make just enough changes. Yeah,
you make enough changes where you do see some modification, but you're not stopping yourself from eating whenever you want, whatever you want within those conditions. This last year with this weight loss was the first year that I bought a scale. It was the first year I started counting everything I put in my body. It was the first year that I had something that would make me not hungry, right? Like low carb you're not hungry.
Yeah.
The food you eat is very filling. It's very nutrient rich. You know, I'm not eating rice. I'm not eating all this shit that I like. When I was gluten free, boom, I'd eat rice all the time.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
When I was dairy free, I mean, I eat dairy now, and cheese is a very filling snack, right? Like,
right, yeah,
bacon, meat, shit like that. It fills you up.
It can.
And I try and eat a lot of vegetables because, like, your body needs it. But I'm only eating like broccoli and asparagus or shit like that. You know, leafy greens. It's the low carb stuff that has nutrient rich. All the food I'm eating is rich in nutrients.
Well, you live in like the health food capital of the goddamn world. I mean, you are in Washington State, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You have all the good food around you. You got fish. You got great farmers markets up there. I used to live in Tacoma, so I know a little bit about the area.
Yeah. And I go to those sometimes, but like I order a lot of stuff off Amazon. These Quest bars, these little snacks and stuff. I order a lot of. I go to Costco and I buy a lot of my like hard boiled eggs packaged from Costco. I just try and make it as easy on myself as possible so I don't have any reason or excuse to break out of what I'm doing. It's very routine and it's kind of boring, but you know, I can go out to Korean barbecue or I can go out to a buffet and just pick the certain right amount of things. Yeah. I don't often do that. When I was in Vegas, I hit up a couple buffets.
Which is impossible not to do. I mean, man.
Yeah.
and
it's
10
okay.
years, baby. Whew.
It's okay to eat, right? Like, you have to eat. You have to just keep track of what you're eating, and you have to make sure that you're not eating the wrong things. Every calorie counts. When you count every calorie. Yeah, exactly. If you're hungry, you're hungry. If you're bored, you're not hungry.
Yeah. If you're eating just because you ain't got nothing else to do, you're doing the wrong things. I've been there so many times.
All the time. Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm bored. Well, shit, there's some chips. Oh, partay.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. You're going to no, not good at all. Not good
and
at all.
Every once in a while, you know, I find myself there with a bag of pork rinds because they're keto, and I'm like, okay, but you know what? They get budgeted into the day. If I have my little bored snack moment, then I know where it goes. I know that I have a certain amount of calories to work with, 2,000, 2,500. And when I started this diet, I was able to eat like over 4,000 calories a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where are you at now?
Because of how fat I was. They recommend 2,800 a day, ever, and I aim for about 1,000 underneath.
Just don't buy a fucking burger with it.
I usually go around 22 to 2,400 a day.
Oh, really? So now you're around 24, you said?
2,400 calories a day, 2,200 calories a day. Sometimes it's as low as 1,800. Sometimes, you know, I look at the end of the day.
Sorry, I had
over 1,000 calories left. Yeah.
I had the stupid. Oh, that's not going to work either. Had the stupid talking thing on. We got a nice little donation for 6 buckaroos. Thank you very much for that. Just changing hats for it. My bad. So 24 ain't even that bad, though. 2,400 ain't that bad. Thank you very much for the donation, by the way.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
But I'm huge, right? Like, I'm a big boy, so it's like it's the fatter you are, the more you can eat. So make sure you're eating the right shit, and you will lose weight. It's nuts. It was so nuts when you start counting everything, how much you could actually eat and still lose weight. It was baffling to me.
You got to find where your deficit is. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the weight loss thing has been a life-changing thing for me.
Of
and
course.
it's just I wish more people knew about it. How you don't think about the calories in, calories out, right? That's not what you think about. And it doesn't always work that way because some people have other needs, and it's a mental thing. You want to overeat, you know? You can't just stop yourself from eating if you're fucking starving.
Right.
I keep getting them fucking downies, dude.
There's a couple people coming in. Thank you very much, first person. I appreciate that. That was very kind. There was a little competition there, it looks like. So I'm just doing some hat changes for him. No, I feel you completely. I've been the exact same way with it. You never want to stop that momentum that you have either. because it's a good feeling, you know. But you're hitting that stage now where are you starting to worry about plateaus and all that? We'll get off the weight in a moment too, because there's a lot of other things I want to talk about. And believe it or not, we've already been live for 40 fucking minutes because that's how we roll here, baby.
Whoa.
But so what is it for you? Are you prepared for those lulls? Are you prepared for the big? Because you've had a couple of lulls, but nothing major, man. I mean, you've been pretty free flowing. You're what, in the 360s, 370s now?
That's what this 368 is. What the last weigh-in was, and I'm expecting to plateau. I just got a gym membership this week.
Oh, you're gonna go full gym, huh?
I've been putting it off for a while. I told myself I would start at 400, and like I just never got into it. So I just went for the first time yesterday, and hopefully that changes up the way I do things. I don't know if it will or not. I went in and I started working out, and I was so sore.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was like, I did like 25 minutes, 30 minutes of lifting and shit, and I was like, I'm done.
Fuck this. Yeah. Have you thought of just continuing to do just walking, you know? For me, that's helped more than anything. Well, that's really the only fucking thing I can do, but
I know that when I was 600 pounds, I'd have to use my arms a lot to move myself around because I was just so fat. So not having to do that so much, I'm not using my arms as much as I used to.
Yeah.
So I want to get in there and just start getting some muscle back.
Because you got the flaps like me. You probably got this action going on right fucking here, dude.
Yeah, your boy's got wings.
Yeah, we're going to flap those motherfuckers. Are you worried about that eventuality of what you're going to do when... Do you have a set mark that you want to hit?
No.
You're just going to go until it's natural, till it feels good?
Yeah. I mean, even when it's natural and feels good, I'm still going to go. Like, there's no reason to stop.
Right.
I've looked at my pattern of when I was on a good diet before, and the things that broke me out of it were major deaths in my family.
Emotional stuff, those big triggers.
Yeah, and so I need to be prepared if, God forbid, that happens anytime. And I don't even want to talk about it because it's like jinx fucking.
Right, yeah, no, now we put that out.
But,
thanks, Dave. I didn't have that came on your fucking show.
but it's like... It's like I know that's a trigger now, and if that happens, it's going to be in my head. That's like, look, you can't give up on this just because you're mourning. You know?
Right. That's 100% it. It's that now you're at that stage, and I tell this to people when they do get down on themselves. And I do it to myself too. About why didn't I? Going back to the question I asked you earlier, like why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this sooner? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because you weren't prepared to do it. I mean, that's the answer. Mindset is 100% of this thing. If you are in a place where you're balanced and you can do this every day, then you're going to succeed. If not, you're going to falter. Yeah. And it's only when you're ready to fucking to 100% grip it. It's not an easy thing. So nothing but respect, man. It's been incredible to watch you do what you do, man.
I'm so happy that it's working, right?
You almost don't want to talk about it too much. It's like, oh, fuck. Well, yeah.
One of the things I do in life is if I'm not good at something, I give up. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm good at so many other things. I don't need to fucking bother with this. I can go focus on something I'm good at.
Right.
And if this was like that and I struggled, I wouldn't have made it past the first month, you know? I just wouldn't have. And that's what kills me. It scares me because if it starts getting hard, I haven't really had that yet. And I'm sure I'll be able to maintain a plateau.
Right.
But who knows, right?
Sure.
You never know. You could relapse anytime.
Any fucking time. And people always get on people sometimes, especially the bigger people, when they start using words like relapse and everything. It drives me crazy because it is a relapse. If people don't realize that food is the most addictive fucking drug on the planet, then you're not paying attention. Obesity is a major thing in the world. It's because food's delicious. And it's the one drug, it's the one thing, and that's how I define it as a drug. It's an object that you ingest that makes you feel good because it has that ability. It does. Food has that for many different reasons. Yeah. So the biggest difference between that and every other drug on the planet is you have to eat. You don't have to drink fucking booze every day. You don't have to put fucking heroin in your system, but you got to eat. You know?
got to eat at some point.
Yep.
And you go around, and they don't have billboards everywhere you go with heroin needles and shit on, right?
Right.
Like, delicious heroin. Come have a nice heroin next exit. And you're like, they do that with burgers and shit, man. Like, it's everywhere.
8-Ball next
TV.
Yeah, you don't get that.
Yeah.
But you get fucking burgers everywhere, man. They don't care. Advertisers do not care about heart disease and all that shit. They do not give a fuck, man.
The food industry doesn't care about giving you nutritious food. They want to sell you shit that can sit on the shelf the longest because it maximizes their profit. And it's like, you don't realize how bad the food is that you're eating for you on so many different levels.
God, it's
because
scary.
it tastes good. It's made to taste good.
Right.
It's not made to fill you up. It's not made to fuel your body. It's made to sit on a shelf until some fucking schlub buys it, and they hope you buy way more than you need. If you look at the serving suggestion on a bag of fucking a box of Oreos or whatever, it's 2 Oreos, right? I thought it was 2 sleeves.
No.
I would sit down, eat 2 sleeves of Oreos, have 1 sleeve left, and be like, "Oh, fuck it, crack open another bag tomorrow. Have a split day."
Right.
I'll have 1 half double stuff, 1 half fucking
Well, I do want to move on to some other stuff, because I know that there's Billy. You have one of the most interesting stories, and there's a few things I do want to talk about before I let you go. You are a guy that I definitely want to have on more than just once, and you've been on a few times and you've hung out with me, and I've always appreciated when you stop by. But you've got one of the most interesting time frames of like anybody. I think a common misconception, and correct me if I'm wrong, is, and we're going to go to 2016 because we brought that up a few minutes ago about how that was kind of a big year for you. Yeah. A lot of people, and me being one of them, for the longest time, thought that you and Leafy knew each other, that you and Leafy were boys, that you ran the same circles. That was not the case. In fact, you got into his world by cutting a video on him and other people, and you were defending the viral superstar Misha. Now that's how that story goes, right? If you want to elaborate.
Well, the Misha video I did, the kid's a troll, right? Like Misha's older brother kind of runs the whole thing. I saw the video where he was calling out Keemstar and Pyro and Grice Gum and Leafy, and at the time Pyro had just put out a video on me that I guess Colossal is Crazy was working on. Ooh. And Colossal tried to give the video to Leafy first, and Leafy passed up on it, and Pyro was looking for something to do because Colossal knew he wasn't going to finish it, but he had put a lot of the work together. Right. And so he gave it to Pyro, and Pyro did the video on me, and that got me a good amount of attention in the community, pulled me into the community. And that's where, around the same time, Misha had that fucking cyberbullies or cancer. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, I should do a rap remix of this and just diss these guys because it's commentary, right? Like, they look. The whole game is that you play into one thing and someone responds and you get to make another video off of them and lolcow them to 1 million fucking views. So I'm like, it's perfect. If I hit all 4 people with a rap diss with this little fucking kid because he's hot now, he's in all the things. These guys are all going to respond, right? And Pyro had just done a video on me, so I thought I was a shoe in there. I've known Keem for the better part of a decade, so I figured he might say something about it. Right. And I released it, and I sat there and I waited, and I was like, oh, well, this isn't taking off. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants to respond. Until Leafy responded. And Leafy, the same week that he responded, moved to Seattle the same week. He was doing a Snapchat or Twitter or whatever was showing him different towns, so I could kind of triangulate where he lived based off of that. And when he hit me, I responded. I went to like 4 or 5 different places in Seattle, like, where's Leafy in this video?
Yeah, the hunt.
I'm going to find Leafy. And one of the places was a landmark that was right across the street from his house. Oh, shit. I didn't say that in the video, right? I didn't say that I'm outside your house. I just wanted him to know that I knew where he lived.
And you did not know him at this point.
No, I'd never talked to him before.
Oh, my God.
That video came out, and that night, Colossal is Crazy slid into DMs and was like, Billy, would you like to get on a call with Leafy? And I was like, hell yeah. And we got on the call and we started talking and we just hit it off. And he was like, look, man, we should do more videos. These are getting great views on my channel. we should build up until we meet up in person.
Right.
He was like, this drama shit is like, it's big, but like you never see like any culmination. He was like, we should build up to like a culmination. And so he'd do a response video, I'd do a response video, he'd do a response video, I'd do a response video.
And you kept saying you were going to fight him, right? I mean, that was the whole tease. You're going to beat him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you, Leafy. I don't know if I said fight directly, but I definitely implied it. I don't know. People thought I was going to kill him.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, you're terrifying. When you want to be, you're a scary guy, man.
Yeah, there was a buddy of mine. He's a counselor at a I want to say a middle school, or it might be an elementary school. I don't know. I think it was a middle school. He's a counselor for these kids, and he said, "Yeah, man, some kid came in, and he was freaking out. He thought this guy, Billy the Fridge, was going to kill him and Leafy." And I'm like, "Wait, I know Billy the Fridge." And I sat him down. I showed him some of your other videos. I was like, "Billy's not a bad guy. He's not going to kill you. He's not going to kill Leafy." But there were definitely, based on that kid knowing, like someone who happened to know me,
right? There
had to have been dozens, if not hundreds, of other kids out there who had nightmares about me killing them and Leafy. It was
going to burst in and just start murdering people. Oh my God.
Yeah. But like we started working together, and Leafy's videos with me, I think we got like 12 million views or something, accumulated over the course of a couple weeks. And when we finally had them, like we met up one day and we're filming a meeting, but that was the day that Nick Cash responded to or put his video out on Leafy. So we ended up spending the entire time hanging out, talking about that. We went out to dinner and stuff, and we never really filmed anything to release. We filmed a couple little clips that made it to the eventual video, but it wasn't what we had planned. So we pushed it off a couple more weeks, and by the time that we filmed the video of us meeting and bumping heads to be released, YouTube algorithm changed. So we went from getting like 4 or 5 million views on a video to like barely breaking 1 million on this one that was built up. And that means for years after that happened, to this day, there's still people that are like, "Leave Leafy alone." And I'm like, oh my God, why couldn't the algorithm have changed right after that so these people could see that it was all a fucking joke?
You couldn't see that it was work.
Yeah, there's millions of people that still think I'm this fucking monster trying to kill Leafy. It's ridiculous.
Well, you don't really look like that guy anymore, so you don't have too much to worry about. You know, now that could be a whole nother like cosplay. You could cosplay as your fat self one day. That'd be amazing. And you can just get somebody to dress up like Leafy and like act like you're gonna beat him up. It'd be hysterical.
That would be awesome.
Now you during that time, that's when everything was kind of really starting to hit the fucking fan for Leafy. I mean, in that same time period, you had, the Nick Cash thing, you had Content Cop, you had everything that happened with Keemstar, all of that type of shit. And you were just getting close with him at that point. What was it like going through that situation with a guy that you barely knew, that you actually were kind of in a little bit of a work with, and then going to where everything went? He fucked one of your friends, or your friends fucked him, however side you want to look at it, with the Keemstar situation being, 2-3 years after what has happened. How was it going through that?
The Keemstar falling out thing happened before I met Leafy, right?
Oh, was it before? Okay.
Yeah, I caught I actually, when I was hanging out with Leafy in the end of 2016, because of me being friends with Keem, when Leafy and Keem they kind of patched things up at the end of 2016. It didn't get very public.
Yeah.
But we would have Skype calls together for like 8 hours at a time sometimes.
Oh, really?
And it would be me, Leafy, Keem, and then we'd bring in Colossal. We'd bring in all types of people. And one night I remember we had Zoe for like 6-7 hours, and we were just talking about all this drama of people that like were sliding her DMs and that she fucked with, and
no shit.
We were talking about some shit, right?
I'm gonna have her on real soon. She ghosted me once, man. Fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, she was supposed to be on a couple weeks back. She just forgot about it. I'm sorry. Please continue. I got her fucking cell phone number now. Can't hide from me now, Zoe. I'm gonna get you. I'm sorry. Please continue.
I like her a lot.
I love her to death.
she's got the mind of like a general, right? Like she's trying to win the war of YouTube views. She really is analytical of everything, and I think that's cool. I like that about her.
So what was it like being in conversations with all these people that some of them were fighting publicly at the time? Other had patched it up, but that wasn't common knowledge.
Yeah.
And here you are in kind of the middle of all of that. Is it difficult being that guy that's friends with everybody? And I assume you have a lot of people who don't understand why you're friends with certain people and want to give you shit about it. How is it being that guy in that peer group?
I mean, like if I had to be disingenuous about something to make it happen,
right,
then I could see it being bad, right? But I'm just being me. I'm just doing what I do. Like, I'm really good at breaking tension.
Yeah.
You know? So if there is tension there, I can usually chill everybody out just by being funny and taking over the floor. And the one thing, the reason like we did these calls was because we'd forget about all the drama and it would just be shit talking and it'd be fun. And at one point, Keem and Leafy were good friends, and according to who you talk to, they would sit on chats talking shit about YouTube, and I know Keem enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know Leafy enjoyed it because I've seen them redo it again afterwards.
Right.
And when we got on those calls, it just kind of brought back the old days. We have grade A under A on. I don't know why that came out so weird, but he would sit there and he'd just be talking shit. Like it was like it was the most like fun podcast that you could listen to, but nobody else but us were listening to it. It was just like dead on 8 hours of just hilarity,
and it was just for you guys.
Yeah, it was entertaining as hell. Like these are busy guys, Leafy and Keem. You know, they're workaholics, and they would take a whole work shift to just sit back and bullshit because it was fun.
Do you wish more people could see that? You know, see that side of those people. Do you wish more people could see that of those type of guys?
No, because I think if they wanted to show people that, they would, right? Like,
very fair answer. Very fair answer.
I think that Keem and Leafy have characters that they play that are very close to themselves.
Right.
But like when you turn a camera on and you're talking into a camera, you have a directive, you have a mission, you have to get your point across in the best possible way. And it's not like that when it's just a conversation amongst friends, you know?
True.
So it would be like for anybody watching, it would have been awesome to have you in there and be a part of everything, but it wouldn't have been the same if we just had
completely different.
Yeah, if we had a camera on, it wouldn't have been the same.
Now, everything you just said to me, maybe that doesn't make sense to a lot of people who are listening, but it does to the people who've been around here for a while, because you just basically you summed it up with one simple word: it's wrestling minded. This is everything you were just talking about. It's all about those characters, the art of the work, and you are so classic wrestling. It's not even funny. It's one of the first reasons why I really started liking you a lot, is because I'm the exact same way. Everything can be worked as long as the people who are involved understand that it's a character that is at play. There's almost nothing that you can't work, and most people want to get offended now over all these works, and it's part of the reason why everyone has an issue. Which brings me to my next question for you. Part of the reason why internet drama and YouTube drama and everything got as big as it did is because it was so believable. I mean, it was a lot of young stars without a lot of training or, you know, background entertainment. Everybody's getting into each other's shit. And you have a couple people who were doing these works, these half works, these not fully real situations. Do you feel that's fair to the viewing audience and to those who kind of make their assumptions, and not even their assumptions, their opinions, based off watching this stuff for a long time? Or are we just in the backseat being taken for a ride, and that's just how entertainment works?
Well, I mean, it's definitely entertainment. The problem with YouTube is people don't understand that it's entertainment.
Right.
The majority of people who watch YouTube are stupid, right? And that's because... It's because the majority of people are stupid, right? Right. Yeah. Like if you look at if you just go the bottom half of intelligence and the top half of intelligence, you know, then you're down the middle. But I'm not going by that. I'm talking like the top 10% of people, 15% of people, top 20% of people, tops,
right,
are intelligent, right? Everybody else is levels of competent. And
fair enough.
And when you get the lower level of people, they go to YouTube and they believe in it, and they yell at the TV like they yell at the TV at home. But in YouTube, there's a chance the TV yells back at you.
Right.
So it creates this allure that like you're a part of something. And when you're in Leafy's club and it's Hiss Nation or whatever, the Lizard Army or whatever the fuck it was, Hiss, you know, you're going and running in comments hissing. If you're a Jake Pauler or a Logan Pauler, you know, you're part of the Low Gang, and you're down and you will ride for these boys because everybody else is just haters, and you'll dab on the haters.
Right.
And you feel like, you know, you are a part of the show, even though you're one of the millions just hitting like and subscribe.
Right.
But it's so immersive just on the idea that, you know, there's such a small barrier between you and the star on the TV. Yep. It's not like that with Hollywood, you know. No. You have a movie star. That movie you're watching right then and there was filmed like a year ago.
Yeah.
And you're so far disconnected from them, and they are so high in their high castle that if you see Tom Cruise walking down the street getting a sandwich, you're like, oh shit, that's Tom Cruise. You know, if you see Logan Paul walking down the street getting a sandwich, you're like, hey, I got my shirt. I'm getting your video. Yeah. and he sells that to you. He knows that if you are wearing his shirt, he puts the little kids in his shirt in his videos. So you buy those shirts because you're like, if I'm ever out and I see Logan Paul in the street, I need to have his shirt on so that I can be in his video.
Right.
Because I have to. Mom, I have to have this Low Gang shirt, or else I will see him get a sandwich and he won't put me in his video. Yep. It's deceptive, but it's deceptive for a reason. People want to be deceived. They want to be entertained. Yep. If we were watching reality TV, we would be bored. You know, I've seen C-SPAN. It's boring as hell.
Sure.
It's politics though, so
we're not invested in those people. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to be entertaining. You don't have to be fake. Right?
Right.
I chose to be fake when I wanted to kill Leafy because that was the story I was telling.
That's right.
And people chose to believe it because they were invested in protecting their sweet boy Leaf, who was sitting here, you know, spamming out clickbait videos just and making millions of dollars.
Right.
And he wasn't doing anything other than, right? Like, he was focused on YouTube for a good year and a half. That was his life. That was everything. So his fans were his everything, whether he acknowledged them one by one or not. He couldn't acknowledge them one by one. That's the nature of the beast. That's success. At a certain tipping point, you know, even though every fan's important, they're just not. You're not capable of treating them.
People
like
forget how big Leafy was becoming. You know, there's not many comparables when you look at how he was growing. You know, he was in that PewDiePie rarefied air. You know, he was growing that fast. Who knows what would have happened if the wheels wouldn't have fallen off? Please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think YouTube changed the algorithm directly to kill Kim and Rice Gum and Keem at the time. Yeah. Everybody who was doing their things. Keem survived. He had to change up and adapt, and he did so by latching on to the Paul drama.
The next big drama, yeah.
And to be honest, I am convinced that YouTube changed the algorithm directly to benefit those boys and the Vine crowd, because they knew Vine was closing down, and if they could get all the Vine people to be big on YouTube, it would be safer than all the little cyber bullies that call.
It's what could save them. Oh,
they're like, this is safe.
I lost you for a second, Billy.
Oh, Enos and Weenus with the 666 Canadian.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Enos and Weenus. That's actually a really good podcast. I like those guys. They're always nice to me. I appreciate that. Here's a Bears hat change for you, just for you two sexy motherfuckers. But yeah, it's interesting when you were, because again, it's funny how I'm just hearing the wrestling talk, especially with the merch stuff you were just talking about, because that's the whole wrestling business plan. You know, to get people to wear the shirts, to be invested in their person. It's really no different than regular sports, except now that these are not, people that you were tracking for a specific reason. These are guys that were just where your cat videos were, and now they're making all these videos that now you're old enough or you're at that perfect age to gravitate towards, and you want to become ride or die with them. You could see your likes helping them go up. You could see your views. You could see your donations come up on the screen. It's a very immersive thing, and I think you hit it perfectly on the head. You don't have to be fake. You just have to be, playing that extension of yourself, and that's what you did. I think perfectly.
Yeah. You can be a storyteller, right? Yes. It's YouTube. You can do anything you want on YouTube. You don't have to be real. Are you fake to deceive? That's the question that we have to judge.
Right.
Are you doing what you're doing because it can trick people into subscribing? The like and subscribe thing, it works. When you tell somebody to like and subscribe,
sure.
It fucking works. It's 100% effective. It doesn't feel any less dirty,
No, it really doesn't. And do you find it weird that in 2019 people are still making that argument though? You're just doing it for views. You're just doing it for clicks. You're just doing it for likes. What the fuck other reason are we supposed to be doing it for? I want people to watch my shit. Do you find it weird that it's the same narrative, even, it's 2019 now? It's a little bit more accepted?
Well, I think that every year you're going to have new people that are just becoming hip to the game.
Yep.
So it's like that's why you're just doing it for clicks. Well, yeah, we've kind of known this. I'm glad you're here to the party, right? Like everybody, if you look at the iDubbbz content cop, for how he talked about Leafy using clickbait and everything, and
right.
the 10-minute videos. You look at that, and then you look at people now who are successful, and it's all working.
Right.
It's still these new people.
It's crazy.
There's all these people that are now maybe just adding in Dr. Phil or the Learning Channel type of thing, and that makes the videos successful because YouTube seems to like to promote shit that tags on to big media, right?
Yep.
Like Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and all these people are showing up on YouTube recommended. And they're big time TV. YouTube's trying to get over there. So if you want to make commentary about big time TV, because YouTube seems to be pushing that big time TV narrative a little more than the you.
Oh yeah.
It's no longer the content about you. It's the content for you. They want to curate that and let you know what you're going to see.
They've really changed the definition. That's why they were able to keep the name, because now it's not about what you can bring. It's about what we can market to you. So it's still a YouTube, just a different YouTube. It's more of a fuck you tube.
And I think a lot of people are hip to that too. That's why we saw the YouTube Rewind just get totally shit on this year.
It was also really bad, and I think that helped too. It was really bad.
Well, last year was really bad too.
True.
This year they tried to jump on this social justice thing.
Yeah.
And I think that that's fine, but there is virtue signaling is a thing, and you just made it look like you were trying to play up to these people, and you can do that, but why risk doing that and not being entertaining with it?
Right.
You can't just put all your eggs in the, feel for me basket, because some people just don't have the feels, especially when a corporate entity is telling them to feel.
Yes, right. Will Smith is starting off the show, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I want? Mark-ass Brownlee in Fortnite. And
right.
You're like, do you really? Do you really, Will Smith? Is that really what you want, though?
Yeah.
Do I believe you?
I don't think we believe him. Whenever you're sitting around a campfire and you're talking about your important issues, that's a real good signal that you're virtual signaling. so if you have to use a campfire, unless you're, Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is still one of the most metal shows of all time. You can eat a dick if you don't watch it. But that's the only time where sitting around a campfire is not pretentious. That's the only time.
And it's okay. If every one of those creators around that campfire made their own video,
right,
and YouTube put it in the trending topic because they were supporting a creator and their message, and they put as much promotion into it as they did this video, that's their voice.
Sure.
But this is a corporate sizzle reel to try and sell ad space to the next year. That's what this YouTube roundup is. This is what we have to offer. It's a fucking commercial for YouTube.
It is, yeah.
And so they're commercializing this. Same thing with the Gillette ad. It's if you're mad at the Gillette ad, you're probably a fucking snowflake, to be honest. But I don't need a fucking company telling me that I need to be a better person.
Right.
When I know that they're sitting in a marketing room trying to come up with ways to sell these razors. And like, you know what? We should actually latch on to this social justice movement. We should latch on to humanity because that's good right now. That's big right now. And the best thing about it is even if you disagree with it, you talk about it.
Right.
And you talk about Gillette. We will be trending, and we will be trending on the right side of history. And you're like, okay.
You sounded like you were perfectly in the boardroom for that one, man.
Yeah. That's all that is. Anytime you see a fucking commercial, they had to go through that process, and if you don't think they went through, fucking crazy.
Yeah, my biggest issue with that ad is actually nothing that was actually in the ad. I think the ad itself is self-defeating for one reason. Oh, wait, I forgot. Gillette doesn't make razors for women, do they? Oh, wait, they do. By not mentioning the razors for women, I think you defeat your entire fucking point because you were just excluded them. You can't.
I think they don't want to mention the razors for women because they charge more for them, right?
That's right. They are fucking ridiculously expensive. They don't want to remember. Yeah, you gotta be more sensitive on the hoo-ha. You know, you gotta have those lip contours. You know, it's very important. It's not an easy thing to make.
You know what I want? I want K-pop. I want ASMR.
There you go.
I want Fortnite and Marcus Brownlee.
And, you know, I didn't appreciate the little tone he had on ASMR. ASMR is a work of art. It is a science of beauty. And just because we can't understand it doesn't mean we should shit on those things. I like ASMR. I can't help it.
Look. I enjoy it. I don't actively look for it, but I wouldn't lie if I hadn't sat there and listened to a soft voiced woman with fuzzy fucking titties talking to a microphone. I like that. I'm a man.
Fuzzy titties. That's fantastic. Yeah. Sometimes they do. Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
You can't get mad at it. No. Oh, Jesus, man. Now all I can think of is you doing fucking ASMR. It just Repsion that does ASMR. I had him on the most recently, or no, actually a couple interviews back.
Yeah,
and he's all about it too. He has the actual fucking weird ass ears microphone thing. Holy,
oh really?
Yeah, he does. That's professional right there.
I would do ASMR if it was all built up towards like a joke at the end. Like I'd try and take it seriously just long enough. To I start the ASMR, I'm like, hello everybody. And then I just start ripping like these gross stink farts.
Right.
And like you can hear the farts in the background, but I'm like, never mind that.
Never acknowledge the farts. Ever. Never acknowledge them. Not for a second. Yep.
My eyes start tearing up because of the sweltering shit stink that's in the room, but I keep going with ASMR. That'd be a funny bit.
It'd be a good bit. You should definitely do that. That'd be funny. Which kind of leads me to one of the last things that I want to talk to you about before I get you out of here, because we have been over an hour. It's been I'm dying, by the way. Thank you for trudging through my sickness with me. I do appreciate it. Hopefully I haven't coughed too much, and I appreciate you being patient as I've been a cougher throughout the course of this fucking stream. But I do want to talk about this before we get out of here. YouTube and you now, you know, you put out some music not that long ago. I mean, you're still doing your music thing. What are your plans going forward with YouTube? And I know you're doing podcasts and everything. So what are some of your favorite things that you're doing at the moment? What do you see being the future and the next evolution of Billy the now mini fridge? What do you see 2019 being?
I want to get back in the studio and start working on a new album. I got back in for one song, did a video for it, just because I hadn't been in the studio for a year around that time. Wow. And that was the last time I've been in for myself. I've been working with a friend of mine, getting her set up with a little single we're going to release at the end of the month. And her name's Madison DeCambra, and she's a little model here in Seattle, friend. And she's a singer, and she's got some talent. So I've been kind of coaching her through that. And I would like to get back into the swing of regular YouTube video releases. I want to start doing I do these random streams where when I'm bored, I just get on and like talk to people, and it's fun. But I want to start building like a show and have like maybe once a week I do something that can actually go up to the main channel and people could watch. And I would like to have content in between that, so it's not the only thing on my fucking channel is these streams. I don't even know how YouTube works anymore. I just know what I want to do with it, you know.
Then you know how it works. Because honestly, this is the perfect time to just simply do what you want to do. You know, it's like, especially if you've been away from your channel for a long time, or if you're just going to start something from scratch, this is the perfect time to do it. You know, and you have an advantage because you have an ability to talk, but you also have many, many people who love you, you know, who would love to come over and just talk and bullshit, interesting people. You have a rotary dex that I think is up there with just about anybody else's on YouTube. You know everybody. I mean, you could really do a lot of different things, man. Essentially whatever you want.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to have like that conversation with people, a more intimate public conversation, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking like a Billy +1 type thing, or maybe a couple people. I don't know. I like to do the streams by myself, but if I actually had some fun conversation going, I feel like that would be something that people could come back to and watch. I like the streams, you can always go watch them again, but it's really just me sitting there talking shit with you, right?
Right,
it's
or
not
playing games or whatever. Yeah, no, I totally feel you.
Yeah. But that's where I would like to go, is just more steady content, because it's so rewarding. Like I love releasing what I release, and every once in a while something blows the fuck up, and I'm surprised that there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people out there that enjoy watching it. You know,
you got to capitalize on the weight loss thing, man. People love that shit. They fucking love it. They absolutely love it. I'm not even saying doing content that is just revolving around your weight loss, although I think it would work well for you.
Yeah.
But just going and doing stuff while you're losing weight and looking so much different, fuck, man, you're going to have every cheerleader in the world. No, I mean, you're at this perfect opportunity that not a lot of people get, especially when have played characters, when they have done as many different things as you've done. You've got a reset button in some ways. You know, you can really go do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a great.
It's true.
We got a great comment in the chat. I have to read it. When it's Shakespearean like this, it needs to be read out loud. Evil Dragon, Dave suck. Billy is awesome.
I think you're reading it wrong.
Oh no, Dave suck Billy.
Yeah, Dave suck Billy. It's awesome. I think you forgot the T.
That's right. You know what? There's no grammar in there. I'll take it. You and I are due for a fucking cuddle puddle, my friend. Oh
yeah.
Man.
We'll have to make that happen sometime.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know, like I'm losing this weight, and one of my things was when I got smaller, I'd want to travel a lot more.
Right.
It was hard before. It's 600 pounds, you know. At best, I'd have to get 2 seats and make sure that I wasn't gonna get kicked off the plane because it was full, you know. And now I've been able to fit in a seat if I have to. I know I can.
Is that your favorite thing that you've discovered so far since the weight loss, is just being able to fit in regular, normal seats and stuff like that?
No. My favorite thing is how many girls are more comfortable telling me how attracted they are to me.
Well, you know what? I can't blame you there. That is definitely going to be high on anybody's priority list. Holy shit.
I'm saying, man. Like, before, like, I would... But it wasn't like as easily. They weren't as open about it, because like they have to be like, "Oh, this fucking pig. What if he crushes me?" And now they're like, "It's worth getting crushed." Right?
Crush me, daddy. There you go. You need to get those shirts out too. Feel the crush of Billy.
I got an idea. I got an idea for the next shirt line. And tell me if this is Logan Paul enough as far as manipulation goes. I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna release it, and it's gonna be a goals shirt. So I'm gonna tell people to buy the shirt a size smaller or 2 sizes smaller.
There you go.
Like if buy the shirt that you want to wear when you reach your goal.
There you go.
And then I just shill it off to people who or fat, and then they'll be like, well, I want to wear it now. So yeah, buy one your size now, but make sure you buy this gold shirt too. Boom, 2 shirts, 1 sale.
Right, it's perfect too. Is if you have them with just a little bit, you have goals before and after. It's all you need. The only words you need on there, and then pointing down at your gut. It's fucking brilliant. You're about to be rich, son. That's a good scam. That's a good hustle right there.
Getting that scam money.
I like it because you know what? It's one of those scams that is completely defensible. Completely defensible. No, I'm motivating. I'm completely motivating. Yeah. What are you talking about? These are fat people. I was a fat person. I understand. If I just would have had something as simple as a shirt, you know, who knows? Maybe I would have changed my life years ago. They can't fuck with you. They can't fuck with you, man. You're right there. You got them by the fucking nutsack, man. Capitalize on that.
Yeah, I'm always like thinking to myself, what would Logan Paul do? And since I've never been to Japan, I have to focus on merch.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's all you got to worry about is just focusing on merch at this point. Oh God,
I love how Logan Paul's not even like this shit anymore. This is how much of a boomer I am.
Right.
I don't even know who's like the dope YouTuber. Right?
Like nobody. It's boring. It's why we got to wait for dumbasses like Logan Paul to go gay for a month or whatever, which is just stupid that people got mad.
And then Glad tells him that's not how it's done. You could at least wait until the end. So some people get their dick sucked.
Right? Can you imagine the videos? You know, a suck for a subscription. I mean, a suck for a sub. How many people Logan would have had to take flat out bricks in the mouth for? I may have let him do it for me, and I would have subbed to his fucking channel.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to go gay for, but I couldn't pass up that job.
Just to say the memes alone. My God.
Yeah. Blow gang.
That's right. Blow gang fall. That's all you need. Oh, I smell a sitcom. And I was never gay all along. Gotcha, bitches. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you know it's bad when those are the things that people are having to gravitate towards. So let me get you out on
PewDiePie
here.
Content is good. I do watch PewDiePie.
Do you do you watch PewDiePie a lot?
I don't watch it a lot, but I do catch when like the clickbait hits me, I'll watch it.
Right. And there's always something because he's the biggest guy. So
yeah, he's good. He's not bad at what he does, right? He's got like a character that if you're not happy with the character, I could see you hating him.
Right. Because
he does kind of play it up, and that's fine. But once you see what he's doing, like it's impressive that he's able to at least keep up with the times enough.
Right.
He might have a group of people following the trending tabs, telling him what's going to work. He puts out so many videos that I guess he knows what works, and he goes back to that well until something new comes about. But he's been able to follow the trends throughout his entire climb. Did T-Series finally beat PewDiePie?
I think that's what Big E said. I don't know. I know it was awfully close. I don't think it really matters, though. Yeah, I don't think it's going to...
I mean,
it's not going to cripple anything. Yeah, I don't think it matters.
T-Series is not a human, right? Like, PewDiePie is a human. He's the icon.
He's the king.
T-Series is a culture and a company, and at some point the robots were going to take over YouTube.
Absolutely,
we're seeing that now. But like he's the guy that went down fighting the war, and he lasted a lot longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, and now I think he gave up. Guy. You know, he's still going to hit 100 million subs. You know, he's had amazing people that have come out to support him throughout all this. He's going to be just fine with all of it. Now he doesn't have to be that. Let T-Series be the one that the Wall Street Journal makes up lies about. Go ahead. This might be a blessing for PewDiePie.
Well, they're not going to make up lies about T-Series because T-Series doesn't have the sway that PewDiePie does in our culture.
Very true.
Like, this is what T-Series is. It's a Bollywood trailer website, right? Yeah. That's at least what I thought it was. That's it was Bollywood music.
Yeah.
And you go there, and it's a whole bunch of different shit, and some videos don't have many views at all. Some have a lot of views. But it's because people in India are a huge group of people. There's over 1 billion in India, right?
Yep.
And I don't know exactly what the number is now because
they love India. They do love India.
And they're all getting these phones now because it's easy to get a cell phone. It's easy to have YouTube on your phone. And T-Series is probably the shit that keeps them up to date with entertainment. Yeah. And so all these people obviously have to have it in their pocket now. And PewDiePie is competing with something that is not relevant to our media. Like T-Series is never going to scare Wall Street Journal.
No, probably not.
PewDiePie is taking views from Wall Street Journal because he's the new media. He's YouTube. Yeah. He's the face of YouTube. And if they can denigrate YouTube long enough to get themselves some views off of it, if Wall Street Journal releases in America T-Series beat up a little kid, nobody's going to care.
No, nobody gives a shit because it's
like,
just
okay. It's T-Series. It's India. Like it doesn't have the sway. Not in America like PewDiePie does.
But
PewDiePie's
like
in your kids' inbox.
Yeah, for a guy who's been around in the public eye for as long, grown up quite a bit in front of our fucking eyes. Yeah, it's a completely different stratosphere. That's probably why it doesn't matter as well. Are you surprised at some of the big deals that people have made over it? I mean, because some people.
Well, it's become a meme, right?
You think that's all it is?
It's a big part of it. People love being a part of something bigger than themselves. True. And this makes them a part of PewDiePie, right? If you're saying subscribe to PewDiePie, you're part of his team. You're something big. You're part of the winning team right now. And if PewDiePie loses and people don't want to say subscribe to PewDiePie anymore, that's how the fucking internet works.
Yep.
It's trends, it's moments, and you were part of it for a moment. Now they're going to go off and, I don't know, stan the fucking little kid from Stranger Things. I don't know how this goes anymore.
Jack Black. They're all going to go sub to Jack Black. It's possible Jack Black might become the big YouTuber of 2019.
I mean, I think any lovable celebrity that starts a YouTube channel is going to get
they have an advantage,
right? Yeah, every advantage. They're movie stars,
right?
That people like.
But Jack Black. Jack's like us, we all look at Jack like one of us. The fat funny guy who could just be crazy, incredibly fucking talented, by the way.
Oh yeah, I love him.
He's
guy. He's one of the he's a short list of people that would when someone's like, who would you like to do a song with?
Oh God,
it's like Jack Black. I would love to do a song with Jack Black.
Next time you're in Vegas, you got to do one with Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. You missed that.
I know. I was in Vegas last week and I fucked off. I was so busy that I was in Florida a couple months. Time to hang out with Vega either. Piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. What the hell?
Basically what's going to happen is Vega and RealTalk are going to get together and beat the shit out of me.
Oh, it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea. I could definitely be a part of that. If they need like a driver, I'll get an Uber. I don't drive myself, but I just want to be a part of it. I'll film the thing. I don't care. And then I got your back, Billy. We'll fuck them up together. We got this.
Yeah,
we got this.
But I don't want to die.
Messing with Vegas is a good way to make that a possibility. Not a guy to fuck with. I would love nothing more than to sit here and do another hour and a half with you. But the reality is my voice is going really fast, really badly. And I hate to cut this short because I've had a lot of fun with you. But, man, I got to, unfortunately, I am going to have to wind this down. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Billy. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's going on with you currently that you want to make sure that people are checking out? Because I do know you are still doing a lot of things, regardless if people know it or not. So, floor is yours, my friend. Tell everyone where they can find you.
I release stuff on my channel all the time, Billy the Fridge, on YouTube, youtube.com/over. I do streams and stuff there. I want to do more music regularly. I don't know when that will be released because I have to actually record it, and it could take a few months. But you can find me there. Follow me on Twitter, all that bullshit. I'm around if you want to yell at me. Twitter's probably the best way to yell at me. And I do Drunken Peasants on their channel a couple times a week if you want to watch. But let's be honest, there's so much good shit on YouTube. If you want to watch anything, you'll find it. So I hate pimping stuff out.
I know that was so funny. Like you don't have to watch us. There are other podcasts. It's totally fucking fine.
There's so much shit out there, right? Like if you find us and you like it, stick around. If not, we'll find each other down the road. That's how viral videos work, right?
How do you? I don't like this, man.
I don't like telling people to find me. They're like, oh man, I just found your shit. I'm like, yeah, I know. I got it. Like,
surprise. Good Lord. How can you not love this big mush puff, man? I'm so happy for everything you got going on right now. And hopefully I can get you on a lot sooner than I took this time to get you back on. But it was an absolute blast.
Yeah. Yeah. Google Lord Vega.
There you go. Google Lord Vega. That's what we need to Google. My God. I'd love to get you back around WrestleMania time too. We're coming up on that with Royal Rumble. I'm not sure how much you're still actively watching wrestling, but I know you've always been a big fan as well as I have.
I'm always on the Reddit looking at what's going down, but I haven't watched anything longer than a clip for a while.
Oh, fair enough. You're not missing.
I watched the clips. I saw. I'm liking Becky Lynch right now a lot. When I was training to be a wrestler in Vancouver, BC. It was over 10 years ago. She was training at the same place I was training at, and she was 19 at the time.
No shit.
And she came all the way overseas to fucking Canada to train at the ECCW training center. I think it's like Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling. It's like it was Vancouver, BC. She was there training and working shows there at 19, and she traveled across the fucking world to do it. And I'm looking at this girl and I'm like, she is awesome. Like you knew then that she was gonna be good. And then she had some health issues, and I thought she'd have to retire.
Yeah.
But she came back and she got signed, and they kind of dicked around with her for a while, and I always wanted to see her win. And damn it, right now she is on the most natural incline since Daniel Bryan, in my opinion.
It's a hell of a thing to see. It might even be, I think it has better legs than Daniel's did too. Just because she doesn't have to worry about the size being a factor. She's right where she should be for a chick,
My favorite thing about this is like, it's like her character is the man, right? She's the man, and it wasn't a social justice thing. It was to be the man, you got to beat the man. Old Ric Flair quote, and she picked that up because she had to beat Ric Flair's daughter. She's like, to be the man, to beat the man, you got to be the man. If you're the man, then I'm going to beat you, and that makes me the man. And shitting on Ric Flair's legacy, and it's got this added like justice, social justice, woman empowerment into it that just happened to work with it. And it's like it ticks all the boxes without being fake or forced. It's so perfect to me.
Sometimes it goes a little over the top, but you got to find where your restrictions are going to be,
Lord Vega doesn't like promos because he actually goes out and fucks people up.
Right. Vega doesn't have to worry about cutting a promo on somebody, because as soon as he starts talking to somebody, they piss themselves. That's good psychology right there.
And that's all you need sometimes. Vega would be a great wrestler.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor. Because he looks like he could be a psychopath whenever he wants to be. It's fantastic. He'd be a great wrestler. My God. The charismatic Cubano, we'll call him.
He's not wrong about how wrestling is these days. It's overproduced and boring.
Way overproduced. I agree.
I'm excited for the new Fed that Jericho and the Young Bucks and Cody are a part of, because they have a ton of money.
They do, which is part of the problem, though, isn't it? I mean, they sold out to a corporation, a couple of billionaires.
It depends, because if you look at Tony Khan, guy who's his dad has the money, but this guy that's running the company, he was writing into Dave Meltzer with reporting house shows in 2004.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, this guy's a fucking mark, right? And the best thing about a money mark that has money and is a mark for wrestling is you can just open their pocketbook up. Eric Bischoff used Ted Turner's book because Ted Turner was a money mark.
Yeah.
And he was able to buy the big talent. The difference is right now, you can buy talent from WWE, but WWE fucked themselves because they stopped making stars.
Right.
They stopped making John Cena's. They stopped making Hulk Hogan's. They stopped making Stone Cold Steve Austin's because they didn't want to give the talent that much power. It's the same thing with record.
I think there's also more to it than that, but I do agree with you for the most part.
Oh, they straight up stunt anybody who's taken their own. They tried to hold Daniel Bryan back for so long. They tried to hold Becky Lynch back for so long. They try to hold people back because they want to control their narrative. They want to control their stars. They wanted Roman. Roman bit them in the ass the entire way. They held on to it, trying to make it happen. And then fucking God came in and was like, leukemia, bitch, you're fucking out. And it's like Vince is like, I can't fight leukemia. I'd fight everything else. I'd fight the fans. I'd fight everybody else. I can't fight fucking leukemia. So he's got to sit back. Yeah, he's got to sit back and realize that he has all these talented individuals that he never gave that nudge to that made them legitimate stars. And maybe you don't want to go in on the person who isn't Roman Reigns because you believe in Roman Reigns and it's your fucking company. Make it happen. I think AEW, based on everything they're saying, is going to give the talent the opportunity to break through that glass ceiling. And it's going to be sink or swim. You're obviously going to have Cody and the Young Bucks near the top of the card because they're the fucking founders.
I think they're going to have some issues. I think they're going to have a lot of issues.
What are your worries, real quick, before we go?
I think a big part of it for me is some of what you were just talking about. While there's some inherent truths to it, there's also, I think, what people don't talk about enough, and these guys don't get over as much as some people want to say they will. Look at Daniel Bryan. I think he's a really good example now. Daniel Bryan's reinvented himself. You know, he's got this new run in there. He ain't drawing dick for numbers, man. It's just like, even when he had his huge run, I understand that there are people always want to look at that one run. He had 2 title reigns before that big title reign. He didn't draw dick for that.
Every title reign other than the World, which was the secondary title anyways, and he was having a big show in Mark Henry.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was ideal. I'm saying
they booked him to shit in those, and he still rose up to be the guy with the yes chance that stole WrestleMania from people. And every time they gave him the title before, they would rip it away from him. So what they're doing,
he had injuries. He did have injury issues too. He had
injury issues. So he never had the chance to fully work with it. It was always they would work his ass. They would take it away, and then when they took it away, they'd finally give it to him, and he'd fucking bust his fucking neck.
Yeah,
and fucking
it's
shit
weird.
up.
I look at that with the time frame on a lot of it too. It's hard to say definitively how far he would have went past where he was. I don't remember the merch sales. I know they weren't fantastic at the time. I know merch sales for him in particular were not fucking great. He had the one major seller, and then everything else was kind of blase. I think over the years that WWE has been doing this, they're not always right by any stretch. Never. They're not always right. But I do think that they have a good ability to see what they have and know what they're able to do. I can't look around and go, there is definitively 100% another Rock out there. There's another Stone Cold out there. Personality-wise, there's just not. And those two are such good examples because they weren't very good wrestlers. I mean, like Stone Cold, this is another
reason. This is another reason why there's no Rock or Stone Cold. All the scripts are overproduced.
Oh, no question.
You don't have guys that can go on the fly because they're not allowed to.
They found the cookie
and
cutter.
One of the big the cookie cutter is to make fucking bland ass Toll House cookies, and we got motherfuckers out here who are making fudge brownies with weed in them, but they're not doing it on a high level.
Right.
What we're gonna get out of AEW,
we're gonna get inflatable dicks like we did it All In. That's what we're gonna get, and I'm not happy about it.
We might get inflatable dicks, but in the midst of that, we're gonna get guys who are able to say what they want to say at the right time. They're not gonna have to mince their words because it's part of the script. You're going to get guys that are going to go off. And like in the Attitude Era, you had shoots and moments on TV that, weren't expected.
We had a public that was very receptive to it, though, man. We don't have that anymore. I want to see what their first backlash is going to be and how they deal with the first time that the media goes after them for something retarded that they do on screen. Is it going to happen?
Well, I think their press event was kind of lame, right?
Yeah,
It was moderately impressive, but it wasn't impressive on. And you're trying to push this company as something different, but it wasn't different in a good way for the press event. But you also have these guys who they rock the shows at PWG in California, and you have these celebrities. Ronda Rousey was in the crowd at a PWG show. You have not Eva Longoria. Who the fuck is the mom from Modern Family? The mom from Modern Family.
Yeah, Sophie Vergara.
Yeah, and Joe Mangliardi or whatever the fuck the guy. I'm so bad with these names right now. They're in the front row. All these celebrities are showing up, and because it's fun, it's hip, and that's the Young Bucks right there. You know, Cody is the legacy of wrestling. Young Bucks are the future of what makes wrestling fun again. And when you start putting big money into this and you're able to give the guys a platform, I am interested in the platform. Right. And they could fuck it all up, right? But I think we need something that pushes Vince McMahon out of his safety net.
Agreed.
Because that's if anything else, AEW will make Vince McMahon have to change the boring ways if the people being able to talk and speak their mind week to week on AEW picks up.
If they draw,
and that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's the big thing. They got to be able to draw, and we don't know if they can. It's going to be interesting.
Well, they sold out Chicago.
But I find that's the easiest thing they could have done. Everybody knew Jericho was going to show up at that show. They had Rey Mysterio.
Chicago?
You go back to my shows. I actually called that he was going to end up winning the title that fucking night because Jericho showing up places is not a shock anymore. There's something going on with Jericho. Jericho, I know he's saying all the right things with his stuff with Vince, but I got a feeling there's something more bitter going on with Jericho. The way he's acting to me seems weird.
I don't think he's not the top.
He's going to be, he'll be in one of the top 3 or 4 programs for the next year.
He matters in AEW because he's the vet that will connect these people to the TV they need to be on.
Hell, he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in New Japan Wrestling this year.
Really?
Yep.
He's got history of being a good hand.
Yeah.
And if he's the good hand that has name recognition at the top of the card, then I think that he's invaluable.
We'll see.
Whatever they offered him, they probably could have given him double and still gotten their money out of him.
More than likely.
And I heard he got the biggest offer he's gotten yet in wrestling.
That's what he says. Yeah, it's another thing that I'm wondering if there's some truth to that or not. Because if they're paying,
it's wrestling. It's wrestling, so like it could all be a work.
Yeah, he could be doing it for free. You know, we have no idea. Jericho doesn't need money.
I'm sure he's not because the money is there, right?
Yeah.
They're offering guys contracts all over the place. I guess WWE is offering to buy out. If you have a proof of a contract, they'll pay you twice what AEW is paying you.
Yeah, I haven't seen any proof of that yet, but there's that rumor. There is that rumor. I could do another 3 hours with you on wrestling alone.
I know, right? I know,
but my voice is on glass.
Sorry, I kept you over a bit, but it's like wrestling. I don't watch it, but I
feel the passion. I
always wanted to be a pro wrestler since I was a little fucking baby. I used to have dreams that I was in a diaper in a studio recording promos in a wrestling ring, and Hulk Hogan came out to beat me up, and my mom had to come out to save me. It was like the reoccurring dreams. It wasn't just like one dream. I would always being in a wrestling ring since I was a little fucking kid.
Same way, man.
And I ran with it for a while. Then music came in and gave me something close to home I could focus on, and that pulled me away from the wrestling. I used to travel to Canada 4 or 5 times a month for training sessions.
Good Lord!
You know, it was like it was only an hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
Still, when you go for something, you go for it, buddy.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
And it was a big part of my life growing up, and it's not a big part of my life now because it like Vega was saying, it kind of fucking sucks.
Right. Well, we can still, when you talk about it, we can still hear that passion still behind it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. What I'm thinking about doing now is cutting a fucking promo, maybe even a diss track on Cody Rhodes.
There you go.
He pulls me, so that he has to pull me into AEW.
He might respond.
He has to, right?
He might respond.
He has to. Especially if I tell him that he had a fat dad and he's shaming his dad by not being fat.
No. Even better, dude. Do the entire video dressed as Dusty Rhodes.
As Dusty.
Yeah, just dress. Do the different iterations of Dusty throughout the years. Do his blue jean on blue jean shtick. Do his polka dots. Do everything, man. It'd be great.
I'm the pappy now, Cody.
All right. On that note, I'm gonna go die before my throat completely goes out. Billy, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna close it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, brother.
Definitely. You have a good night. Get better.
Thank you, man. And thanks for suffering through it with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it was easy.
Yeah, it was. I'll talk to you soon, Billy.
Later.
Billy the Fridge, everybody. I'm going to die. I would actually love this to go even longer. I had so much fun with Billy, but I am like on the end. It's over. My voice is fucking shut. So I'm going to rest now and hopefully be good to go for some Twitch tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you have a fantastic night. Make sure you tweet this around, share it, let everybody know that more interviews are coming. We got a lot of great stuff coming up down the line here. iNabber, Bunty King, Anything for Views, Zoe Berger, all kinds of good stuff coming up. Wavy Web Surf, so many more. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for being patient. I'm sorry I've been sick. I do want to apologize to Billy the Fridge for being sick, and hopefully you will come back and grace us more with your presence, and just like the rest of you guys will. Thank you very much for keeping it copious with me tonight. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through this this outro here. Remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Keep it copious, folks. Remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. I can't breathe anymore. Go watch the outro. Support on Patreon. And peace.